Peace. What's the word? What's happening, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tap in with the kid before we start building on the subject matter for the day. Hopefully, y'all having a powerful Friday. I'm gonna give y'all about 3 to 5 minutes to tap in with the kid before we start building. Let me know how y'all living and feeling on this wonderful Friday. I gotta charge some things up, so go ahead, tap in with the kid. Let me know how y'all living and feeling, man. We gonna get this build. We gonna get this build started. We talking about ignoring people and how that's good for your health and can lead to peace and sanity. It's one of my formulas for peace. Kenyatta, peace, what's happening? Further to peace, peace. Magic Realms, peace. Montel, peace, what's happening? You know, a lot of times when I talk about ignoring folks, things like that, people be like that's mean, but nah, I'm gonna build on that. We got to get a better understanding of what it means to ignore folks out here. Y'all worried about being mean to folks. I'm worried about my peace and sanity. You know, for real. Infinite Divinity, peace, what's happening? Tony, peace. Montel, right on. Jakari, peace, what's happening? Kurt, peace. Tony, peace, what's happening? Montel, man, everything is good. Everything is good. Yeah, we talking about ignoring folks. I stopped worrying about being perceived as mean a very long time ago. Very long time ago. You know, I will ignore you rather quickly. You know, if you bring in some nonsense my way, I have no problem ignoring you. If you bringing some stuff my way that I don't necessarily care for, I have no problem ignoring you. Like we pick and choose the things that we allow in our life. I'm learning that, you know, I've learned that. I ain't even learning that anymore. I've learned that and I'm implementing that, you know, and that's leading to high levels of sanity, high levels of peace. And I recommend everybody implement this practice of ignoring folks. You got somebody that's nagging you, whether it be a family member or a friend, I'm telling you, ignore them. Watch how I'm telling you, watch how your peace skyrockets. Just ignore them. MC, peace, what's happening? The science and fine art of ignoring folks. I'm one of the kings of that. Like I'm the CEO of Ignoring Folks University. I'm good at that, man. I'm great. You know, if it's some stuff I don't necessarily care for, man, I ignore it. I do not tap in. You know, I pick and choose what I want to tap into. I pick and choose what I give my energy to. You know, nobody got a gun to my head forcing me to deal with anything. Nobody has a gun to my head forcing me to deal with them. So with that being the case, if I don't want to deal with you, I don't deal with you. I ignore you. And the funny thing about that, like I don't have to block people. I don't have to do any of that. I simply ignore folks. Like that's how thorough it is. I don't block people. I don't delete people. I just ignore them. And they end up blocking themselves, deleting themselves, removing themselves. Like I don't have to do any of that. People be talking about how strong they block game is. I feel like when I got to go out of my way to block and delete you, like I feel like I'm giving you too much energy doing that. I feel like I'm making you important. You important enough to where I have to reach out and I have to block you. That means you got under my skin. You know what I'm saying? When I ignore you, that's just showing how much I don't how non-important you are. You know what I'm saying? But when I gotta go out of my way to delete and block you, nah, that's too much energy. That's too much energy. You got under my skin because now I gotta block you. I gotta delete you. Now I ain't gotta do any of that. I'm gonna ignore you. You talking crazy to me? Ignore it. You know what I'm saying? You coming with some nonsense? Ignore it. I don't have to block nobody. I don't have to block. I don't block people at all. I don't delete folks. I don't do any of that. I just ignore them. And then they end up removing themselves like clockwork. It's like clockwork every time. Like clockwork. It works fine. It works perfectly fine. Ready 1973 piece. What's happening? Magic for sure. You know, I always feel centered. Like I said, like I look at somebody sends me a message and I just feel like it's some nonsense. You know, we got that gut feeling. That's the second brain. You know, that gut feeling be right and exact 95% of the time. You know, so when somebody brings a message to me and my gut and like in my gut, I'm like, man, I ain't feeling this. I don't respond. I respond to people when I want to respond to people. Call it what you want to call it, but that's how I move. You know, I didn't live that life to where I was looking out for folks. Every time they hit me up, I'm going out of my way to tap in with them, you know what I'm saying, and help them out. Man, I'm not doing that anymore, man. I stopped doing that because for the most part, people won't reciprocate that energy to you. You know, when you in dire need of help, these same people that you done broke your back to help, they won't do the same thing for you. And sometimes some of these folks might help you with ulterior motives in mind. I don't have time for that, man. I don't got time for that. You only help me so you can get something from me. You know, the genuine, like, genuine energy is rare these days. The genuine, authentic energy of a person just helping you just because it's in their heart to do so, man, that's rare. You know, that's almost extinct out here, man. It's endangered for sure. Chaz, peace, what's happening? Infinite divinity, 100 times, 100% right and exact. I don't be thinking about folks, man. Stuff don't even be bothering me. Like, don't even bother me because, like I say, I just ignore it. And if I don't ignore it, then I hold myself accountable for the feelings that come along with it. You know, because again, it wasn't anything or anybody that forced me to tap in and pay attention. I chose to pay attention to it. So if I chose to pay attention to some nonsense and entertain it, and it bothers me and it irritates me, then that's my fault because I chose to tap in and pay attention to it and focus on it. So that's on me. I hold myself accountable for that in regards to anything that I allow to irritate me. I allowed it to. You know, something like a person didn't irritate you. You know what I'm saying? You irritated yourself by allowing that person to get under your skin and irritate you. You know, your perception is everything. I ain't forced to have no relationships with anybody. I ain't forced to talk to folk. I ain't forced to deal with some of this nonsense that folks be out here trying to bring to me. Nah, cut that off. Keep that away from me. I value, like I said, I value peace. I value sanity. I'm working a job where the co-workers getting on my nerve, like they gossiping, they getting on my nerve. Guess what? I'm about to find me something else. I'm not finna be listening. I'm not about to be working around people that's getting on my nerves and thinking I'm forced to deal with this because of a check. No, I value my peace and sanity more than anything. So if I'm working a job and this job is forcing me to be around some folks that's annoying me, guess what? New job coming soon. I'm not gonna do that. I will keep finding a job or creating a job until I'm in an atmosphere that I fool with. I'm never going to force myself to be in an atmosphere that I don't like that's not conducive to my health. No. If I don't like the atmosphere, I got to go because I can't be productive. I can't be the best version of myself when I'm in a negative atmosphere. You know, so again, if I don't like the atmosphere, I'm going to find me something else. And I'm going to keep finding me something else until I like the atmosphere. I'm not about to force myself to be around a bunch of negative folks, to be around a bunch of people that's irritating me, to be around a bunch of people that's talking about a bunch of nonsense for 8-9 hours. Nah, I'm good. That ain't happening. You know, I'd have been in that position. Like, all right, this job might be cool as far as the work, but I ain't liking the workers. So I'm gonna find me an environment. I'm gonna create an environment for myself. Like straight up. That's how I had to move. Like I gotta create an environment and an atmosphere that I can thrive in without having to be around all these people that's talking about a bunch of stuff that I don't too much care about. You know, that's bringing me down. You know, it's one thing to talk about some stuff I don't care about, but when it starts to turn negative and you bringing me down, or at least striving to bring me down, like I don't got time for that. Or Cart, peace, what's happening? Infinite divinity, hey, Coogee rap, hey, that could do it for some folk. You know, I play something crazier than that. You know, but again, like I said, man, ignoring folks and then just moving on, like not forcing myself to mix with certain crowds, mix with certain people, mix with certain jobs, mix with certain atmospheres. Like all of that is important. I'm not forcing myself to do any of that. Like I said, if I don't like the crowd, if I don't like the vibe, if I don't like the atmosphere, I'm out of there. I'm out of there. I'm done. Like I'm done trying to force myself to mesh with folks. Like if we don't mesh, keep it pushing. You know, if this is not a good mixture, a good combination, keep it pushing. Keep it pushing. Emmanuel, peace. What's happening? So, like I said, man, over the past few years, man, my ignore game is strong. And I'm telling you, I'm reaching a level of peace that a lot of people wish they had. You know, a lot of people wish they had it because I ignore you. You could be a family member. You could be a close family member. You hit me up about some nonsense. I'm not responding. Or if I do respond, it might be days later. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let you disturb my peace. Because you gotta think about a lot of people, listen, a lot of people don't be considerate, you know. People quick to bring nonsense your way without even checking in to see if you ready and equipped to deal with the nonsense. That be the part that be bothering me. You know, you ready to bring some nonsense my way, but you didn't even tap in to see where my emotional well-being is. I might not be in the space to even want to deal with this nonsense that you about to bring my way. But since people are so selfish, they don't care about that. Like, let me hit dude up and bring this nonsense to him. I'm not gonna ask him, is he ready or equipped to deal with it? Just gonna bring it to him anyway. That's what I'm gonna do. So if you didn't think about my emotional state and my feelings before you brought some nonsense to me, then I don't care about ignoring you. Because you should have thought about that. Eddie, peace, what's happening? Should have thought about that, man. And I give that advice to other folks. If somebody did not consider your feelings and emotions before they brought some nonsense your way or strive to bring some nonsense your way, ignore that. Don't feel bad about ignoring, because they didn't feel bad about bringing this nonsense your way, fam. Chris, peace, what's happening? What part of Missouri you in? Judah Son, peace, what's happening? So that's how I look at it. You know, if somebody was about to tap in with me, didn't ask how I was feeling, didn't ask about my emotional state, and jump right into some garbage, jump right into some toxic nonsense, man, you listen, you getting ignored, and I ain't about to even care about ignoring you. I don't care. You should have thought about it. You should have asked me. Hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? What's the word? Do you mind if I something? You know? Etiquette around here, man. Don't just, and this is what people do. They come right at you with some garbage. You know, they come right at you with some complaints. They come right at you with some negativity. They come right at you with some toxicity. Nah. That ain't, I don't do well with that. Now, if you check in, if you consider my feelings, then I might entertain what you're talking about. I might. It's a possibility. And that's still big because, like I said, man, I'm protecting my peace. I'm protecting my sanity, man. Like in this day and age, we dropping like flies out here, you know, and our emotional state plays a big part in why a lot of us are dropping, you know, because when you're stressed out all the time, man, that's making your cells more susceptible to cancer. You know what I'm saying? To all these diseases and ailments. You know, your cells are more susceptible to self-destruct when you out here dealing with stress all the time. You know, so I choose to ignore anything that's bringing stress my way. I don't want to self-destruct, you know? So when somebody is bringing some nonsense my way that could lead to stress, I gotta ignore that, man. I gotta be like, all right, you can say that for somebody else. I ain't dealing with it, you know, because again, a lot of times too, when you give folks advice, when you give people solutions, they don't even be wanting to hear that. They just want to dump things on you and keep it pushing. A lot of people don't be in the business of wanting to hear solutions to their problems. So if that's not the business that you are in, then I'm good, because that's what I'm about to offer. Because your solution is not about to be to dump everything on me and then leave. No, I'm not. That ain't gonna happen. And that's what a lot of people, that's the state of mind that a lot of people be in. You know, they solution is to dump these emotions onto somebody else and then move on. Like, that's not fair. That's not fair to the recipient at all. I'm not about to do somebody like that unless we got a mutual agreement. You know what I'm saying? Like, yep, I'm about to vent. We agreed on it. This how this conversation gonna go. But other than that, man, that ain't no solution. I'm about to dump everything on this person and then boom, just gonna leave. I ain't gonna give this person a chance to dump anything on me, nor even offer me some solutions. I'm just dumping everything on this person. I'm gonna keep moving. Nope. Nope. Hey, Terezo, 100%. I can vouch for that for myself. Oh yeah, Chris, yeah, Columbia, yep. Magic for sure. You know, it's a work in progress. You know, sometimes I fall victim, but for the most part, I'm 80% the way there. You know, probably 90. It's just, man, like I said, man, some people bring some stuff that I don't care about. I don't care how close we are, man. I will ignore that. And people get the hint. Even if they don't, I still really don't care. But most people get the hint, man. When they bring something to you and you don't respond, they like, man, I probably shouldn't have came with that. I probably shouldn't have been on this type of time with this dude because he just ignored it. He didn't respond. So a lot of times, man, like 90% of the time, they gonna get the message when you ignore them. But like I said, if they don't get the message, I still don't care because I'm still gonna ignore you if I don't like the type of time that you are on. You know, so at the end of the day, like, if you get the message, cool. If you don't get the message, it's still cool because I'm still gonna play it the same. Yeah, hey, MC for sure. Gotta tap in and see where the mood is at. Cause I could be having a rough day. You know, and you about to just lay some heavy stuff on me, man. I could have been having a rough day. I could be on my last leg, and here you go, about to hit me with some nonsense. What? Like, come on, man, tap in to see where my mood at. But again, most folks don't do that. They don't do that. Hey, Ananias, man, I'm trying to tell you, gotta do it. If you value your health, you want to prioritize your health, ignoring folks it's got to be the move. Like I said, it may sound harsh, it may sound mean, but I don't really care about being perceived as mean by other folks. Because if what I'm doing is leading to my health increasing, then it's all good. I'd be mean if that's the case. But I didn't entertain enough people. I didn't entertain enough nonsense. I didn't try to help a lot of people. A lot of people ain't listening. A lot of people ain't going. I'm not about to be wasting advice. I'm not about to be wasting solutions. I'm not about to be wasting energy. You know, if you about to keep coming to me with the same problem, and then I try to get down to the bottom of it and offer solutions, and you don't want to implement them, then again, you choosing to be this miserable in your life. So don't bring that misery to me. Don't bring that misery to me because I don't want to be miserable. You know what I mean? Don't bring it to me. Ray, peace, what's happening? Don't bring it to me. You know, I'm in that business of helping people, you know, as a trainer. You know, a lot of people, man, they just a lot of people don't listen, man. Just what it is, that's just what it is. We hope keep it real. A lot of people don't listen. A lot of people do not listen to what's important, I should say. They do not listen in regards to the things they know they need to do. You know, again, if everybody just listen and do what they know they need to do, hey, world will be a better place. It'll be a better place, but that's not what happens most of the time. You know, my thing is, man, if we know what we need to do and we not doing it, then to me there is no grounds to complain. Like if I know what I need to do and I'm not doing it and I'm not where I want to be, it's my fault and I'm not about to complain about anything. I'm not about to be negative about that because hey, this is on me. This is of my doing. You know what I'm saying? Like I know what I need to do. I'm not doing it. You know, and it's as simple as that. I'm not doing what needs to be done. I must change that. I must do what needs to be done. Stop making excuses. You know, we full of excuses. Full of that. And I don't like hearing all of that. You know, that stuff is dead to me, man. Excuses, excuses, excuses. Complaining, complaining, complaining. What is that gonna do for you? Like somebody let me know, what is all that complaining and making excuses doing? What is that doing? How has that helped you? You know, if you live in your life right now, if all you doing is complaining and making excuses, what has that done for you? Please tell me how that has elevated your life. Somebody give me a testimony right now. Somebody that complains all the time and makes excuses. Let me know how that has elevated your health, elevated your life. I guarantee you it has not. Because it will not. Nice, man, for sure. I listen, have no problem doing it either. What goes around, and I'm out the business of trying to save everybody. Again, even with my job being a trainer, supposedly, you know what I'm saying, I gotta help these people. But it's like again, if you not listening, if you not doing what you need to do, man, I'm not about to keep on going. Like I'm a trainer, I ain't no babysitter. fam. Like I ain't no babysitter, man. I ain't got time for that. We grown. We grown. I ain't got time to be babysitting. You know what I mean? I ain't got time to be. I ain't got time to be babysitting, man. That ain't the business that I'm in. Again, we grown. We know what we need to do. We got to start doing it. If you not doing it, then I'm gonna ignore you. I'm gonna ignore all complaints. And that's just how I move. That's how I move. When people start like when I hear complaints and excuses, man, like my mind, it turns off. I'm like, man, I start thinking about some other stuff. I'm not even entertaining what you're saying. I'm not entertaining what you're saying. Sound like an excuse to me. Soon as when that first sentence come out and it sounds like an excuse, the conversation to me is over with. You have now been ignored. Like I'm good for ignoring folks that just be on some nonsense. I'm good for it. As soon as they start talking, I'm like, yep, it sounds like they about to start making excuses. When it's in the health and field space, like, hey, you down, you hit this wall. Are you not dropping the weight as fast as you should be dropping the weight? What you eating? Then they tell me what they eating. It be some nonsense. And I'm like, man, why are you still eating this garbage? No, you're not supposed to eat it. Here come the excuses. I'm automatically zoning out. Because you're not supposed to eat. There is no rationalizing eating some food that you're not supposed to eat. None. There is no rationalizing any of that. There's no rationalizing doing anything that's unhealthy. I don't care how good you make this sound. There is no rationalizing doing something that's destructive to your body. Nothing. There's no way to rationalize that. There's no way to make that make sense. There's no way to make destroying your body make sense because it does not. So there's no good reason for you to do something that's destructive to your body. No good reason. It's only BS excuses. That's it. There is literally no good reason to destroy your body. There is no good reason to feed poison to your body. I don't care. Oh, it tastes good. That's not a good reason. That's an excuse. That's a lack of discipline. So again, that is an excuse. Oh, well, my kids did this and my kid, again, excuse. Excuse, not a good reason. There's no good reason to destroy your body. There's no good reason to destroy your mind. The African Wolf, peace, what's happening? Rob, peace, what's happening? Big Black, peace, what's happening? Nisi, peace, what's happening? You say, what about when person or people are in a business forum and you have to deal with them? And I kind of mentioned that earlier. Now, it depends on the type of business that we doing, because if I know I only have to deal with you for a certain amount of time, again, when you start talking crazy, it's like, again, I settle on the best parts of that particular conversation. Now, if it's job related, then I'm not going to have coworkers that irritate me. I'm going to find another job. I'm going to find another job or create an atmosphere that's conducive to my, you know what I'm saying? Conducive to my personality type. But if we like in meetings and things like that, and I don't have to deal with these people on a consistent basis, then it's like that stuff don't even faze me if they start saying some nonsense, because I know I don't have to deal with this person on a consistent basis. If I have to deal with them on a consistent basis, nah, I'm creating my exit plan. If I got to work with some folks that irritate me, which is what I was doing. I was working with folks. I was working in a system in a corporation that stuff was getting on my nerves. So I was like, man, I got to create an environment that's more conducive to my peace, my overall health and well-being. And that's what I did. But if I know I don't have to deal with this person on a consistent basis, and it's every blue moon or so, then I'm good. Like I said, stuff don't faze me if they start saying some crazy stuff. But if I got to deal with you consistently and you say crazy stuff consistently, nah. Nope. I ain't even going. I ain't got time for that. I'm not going to force myself to have to stay in an environment that's going to irritate. I ain't doing it. I'm leaving them environments because, again, like I said, that's bad for your mental health, man, to have to deal with that. I was in that. I was in that type of environment, man. I couldn't do it. Driving me crazy. And I wasn't even trying to entertain it. It's like just being around it. You picking up on the frequencies by being around it, fam. Like just being around it is enough for that stuff to influence you. Not even influence you, but just influence your mood and shift your energy. When you just around, when you in a place and everybody is down, you know, it's only a matter of time before that starts to drain you. You know what I mean? Like it's only a matter of time before that stuff starts to affect you. When you just in a place and every day, all day, folks are down, folks complaining, folks negative, man, that's eventually going to get draining. That willpower is dead. I don't want to have to utilize my willpower every day just to go to work. Eventually, I'm going to get drained. I'm going to get tired of using that willpower. Like that stuff is ridiculous, fam. Like I ain't got time for that. I want it to be, I walk in this place and the mood is uplifted, you know what I'm saying? Or uplifting. That's what I need. I don't want to have to go to work and I have to prep talk myself and be like, all right, man, I got to deal with this negative environment. Let me get my mind right and have to fight with that for 8 hours a day. Man, that's ridiculous. I can't do it. I was trying to do it. Eventually it gets the better of you. Like eventually that energy gonna win. If 95% of the work environment is negative, 98%, and you the 2% that's not, man, if you, the longer you stay, the more you increase your chances of becoming just like these folks that's around you. That's the majority rules, man. It's hard, man. It's hard to be in an environment like that, and you the one that's not negative, and everybody else is. It's hard for you to thrive in that environment, man. It's hard. I ain't got time for it. It's hard. It's hard to be that voice of reason. It's hard to be that positive energy in an atmosphere that's predominantly negative. Man, I done tried to be that. Man, them folks don't be wanting to hear that. You know, and then all you got to do is hear they nonsense and they garbage. And you try to, you know what I'm saying? You try to sprinkle some positivity in there and they looking at you like, don't nobody want to hear that. Majority rules. So you got to be in your own head. You got to ignore folks and all you hear is that. Like it's hard. It's hard. So I'm like, man, let me just go ahead. I got to get up out this environment. I ain't got time to deal with this. I don't care how much money I'm making. I'm gone. High top, peace, what's happening? Chaz, that's what they say. That's what they say. You are the sum total of the people that you hang around, like the five closest people that you hang around. You know, they say that's how you can, unfortunately, judge a person. Look at the 5 closest people to them. You know, and sometimes that's right and exact. Sometimes that's right and exact. What they say, you are the company that you keep. Sometimes that's facts. And I didn't start to understand that that's facts. Like, yes, I have the power to rise above the people that, you know what I'm saying, that I'm hanging around or that's around me. But man, why would I want to do that? Like, why would I choose to hang around folks that's extra negative and it's forcing me to use willpower just to even, you know what I'm saying, just even hang around? I'm like, man, I ain't got time for that. Instead, I can just hang around some naturally positive people and I don't have to think so hard to hang around them. I don't have to focus and concentrate so hard to hang around them because they're already positive. The environment is uplifting and positive. So I don't have to concentrate so hard. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be in that type of environment. Hey, Akuma, happy belated B-Day. Man, it ain't even, listen, quitting family. See, this is the thing about it. Like I said, we look at stuff as tough. I don't. Listen, outside of you having kids, fam, like I don't have to force there's no gun to my head forcing me to deal with anybody. I'm sorry. And everybody in my family, this is why my family don't bring BS my way, because they have tried and I ignore it. So my family on both sides, they know which family members to contact when they want to be on some BS. And I'm not one of them. I'm not the cousin you finna contact and bring some BS my way, because I will ignore you. I won't respond to you. I don't care if you my closest cousin. When you own some nonsense, I'm not responding. I'm not responding. You know, so my family on both sides know that. That's why when my moms and pops be asking me, did I know about such and such? My answer be nope. And I'll be like, man, because don't nobody tell me nothing. Because they know not to tell me that nonsense. Like for real, they know not to bring me that nonsense. Like they not gonna bring me some nonsense because they already know how I'm about to play. They already know how that's gonna go. It ain't gonna go too well with them. They will get ignored or they will get checked. Hey man, don't bring that. Don't come to me with that, fam. Don't do that. If you're not striving to solve these problems, like I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So again, most folks ain't in the business of that. Most folks on an event, they want to talk to somebody that's gonna tell them what they want to hear. I'm not that. I stop being that. I'm gonna tell you what you want to hear. You want to complain to me about you not being able to lose weight? I'm gonna tell you, hey, I'm gonna be like the doctor on the 600-pound life. I'm gonna be blunt with you. You know, you eating that garbage. You eating that toxic garbage. You're not gonna ever lose the weight. Matter of fact, you're gonna gain some more weight. You know what you're not doing, and you know what you're doing. So I don't want to hear you complain about it. I want to hear you cry about not losing the weight, not dropping the pounds, and then talking about I don't know what I'm not. You already know. Acting like you don't know why you're not losing weight. Come on, it's not rocket science, fam. Losing it's not rocket science, fam. So I ain't got time for that. You know what you're not doing. You know what you need to do. You know, come on. Oh, Nisi, at that point, you just got to put the positive energy in the atmosphere and everything will take care of itself. Hey, sometimes you put the positive energy in the atmosphere and things that your environment changes itself. You know, like people that's bothering you start to leave, stuff like that. You know, when you plant the proper seeds, hey, sometimes you might not have to leave. The people around you that's bothering you, things start happening to them. Like they start leaving, they start getting them like little stuff like that. The work environment shifts. So, hey, plant the proper seeds, and sometimes that can change it if you feel that way about it. Dean, man, I was just talking about that with a client, Derek Smith. Peace, what's happening? I was just talking about that with a client, like when your family start viewing you as stuck up because of hey, certain things you might start doing late in the game. You know, you might change the way you eat. You might move to a certain part of town that might be considered bougie, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like family members will start calling you stuck up or start thinking you too good for them, stuff like that. I'm like, well, if that's how you feel, that's just how you feel. I ain't in the business of trying to change the way you feel about me. Change the way you perceive me. I don't really care if that's how you perceive me. That's how you perceive me. I'm not gonna try to change that. See, we be working too hard to try to convince people that they need to view us in another light. I don't care. You know, whatever idea you got in your mind about me, that's just what it is. I'm not trying to go out of my way to change that. I know who I am. I know what I'm on. That's the most important thing to me. Why should I care about how you perceive me? I don't care. Like I don't care how somebody else is perceiving me, especially when I know it's not right and exact. So I'm not about to go so hard trying to convince you, hey, you need to change your perception of me. You need to change your perception of me. What you think is not true. No, I'm not going. If that's the perception you want to have, so be it. I ain't about to argue with you. I know it's wrong. I know it's incorrect. Hey, if it's right, then I know it's right. Whichever way it go. I'm still not trying to confirm nor deny how you perceive me. I'm living my life. And I'm going to continue living my life. And I'm going to continue to strive to be the best version of myself on a daily basis. Some days I'm going to fall short. Some days going to be better than others. That's life. You know, that's life. Colleen, peace, what's happening? Oh, cool, man. Yeah, yeah. I didn't been an advocate of fasting for a very long time. Very long time. That's why I wrote on the community wall or whatever the case may be about doing the chlorophyll, in the distilled water for 5 days. I didn't chopped it up, man. People gotta understand, and sometimes, man, that's what you just gotta do. You know, when you hit this wall, man, sometimes you got to do some things, you know, that's different. You know, you got to do some things that's different. You got to do some things that might be drastic, fam. You know, so that's why I threw that 5-day detox and cleanse out there, fam. You know, we've been doing the same thing over and over every day, eating a bunch of nonsense, eating too late at night, eating the fast food, all that type of nonsense. So we got to do something drastic, man, to get this body back in alignment. Go 5 days with the distilled water and the chlorophyll. Quit playing. Quit playing with yourself, man. Quit playing. Give that digestive system a chance, man, to rest so the cells can rejuvenate. You know what I'm saying? For real. Restore the health in the cells, man. But again, we overworking that digestive system. Digestive system don't have a chance. Don't stand a chance with as much as we eat. You know, so give it a break, fam. Let it rest so it can do what it needs to do, fam. And the best way to allow that to happen is to fast. And then we got to understand too, this is another thing that we got to understand about fasting too. See, fasting should work like this, man. When you fast, when you going, you know, the chlorophyll water, when you do that for like 5 days, or I should say detox and cleanse, you should also include people in this mix. So again, when I say I'm going on a cleanse and detox, you know, and I'm removing all these toxic foods from my life for about 5 or 6 days, then I'm doing that to people as well. I'm not communicating with a certain type of people for that amount of days as well. I'm not about to be detoxing or cleansing in regards to just the physical body and not doing the same thing for the mental. You know, so if you known to bring some garbage my way and I'm in cleanse mode, then I'm not talking to you. Don't take it personal. Or if you do take it personal, then so what? I still don't care. You know, so we got to look at fasting like that, man. If I'm going to fast and cleanse, then that applies to the mental and the physical. So yeah, I'm not eating these foods. I'm doing raw foods, raw fruits, vegetables. I'm going with the chlorophyll water, whatever detox and cleanse method you choose. You also got to do that in regards to people and environments. For real. Hey, Colleen, that's what I'm trying to. I'll be trying to tell people all the time. There is no other food that you need to eat in the morning outside of fruit. Your stomach, literally, it ain't even ready to deal with anything heavier than that, you know? For real. Hey, Poppy C, peace, what's happening? Hey, we say what I detox with? Man, it just depends, man. You could do raw food cleanses and detoxes. People do it with just fruit. Some people might do it with just vegetables. Some people do the raw fruits and vegetables. You can do the chlorophyll water, you know, take the distilled water, put the chlorophyll droplets in it. You could do it like that. It's a lot of different ways. You could just fast with straight water, however you want to do it. But it's a lot of different methods, man. A lot of different methods depending on what somebody is dealing with. You know, but every so often, man, you need to go ahead and hit one of those cleanses and those detoxes or fast or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like every so often, you got to do that. Every so often, you need to be going 7 days. Do you a juice cleanse for 7 days? I promise you, you're going to feel great. Promise you. I promise you. Yeah, it sounds rough, but I mean, come on, fam. Look how long. Let's just use me for instance. I'm 32 going on 33, right? Let's just say for this entire amount of time, I've been eating every day, 3-4 times a day. It's not going to kill me to go 5 days not eating. Man, I spent all these years eating every day. When you tell somebody to go 5 days with just liquid, they act like you done told them to go 30 years with just liquid. No, you done spent 32, 35, 40 years of your life eating solid foods. Somebody tells you to go 5-7 days with liquids, and you act like they asked you to go 2 to 5 years with just liquid. Fam, it is 7 days. You have been eating solid foods for 35 plus years, 30 plus years. Come on, you'd have had your fun already. 7 days on liquids is not going to kill you. I promise you it's not. Promise you. If anything, it's going to heal you. It's going to make you feel better. But again, we tend to not view it in that light. You know, people be like, oh man, 5 days, you know, I'm going to die. I'm going to pass out. No, you're not. You know, you about to pass out eating all this garbage. You about to pass out eating all this toxic food. You know what I'm saying? Heart attack, stroke, diabetes, all this type of, that's passing out. These people that are passing out, having heart attacks and strokes, they not fasting when they pass out. They might have just ate some garbage and then had the stroke. You know what I'm saying? They not in fast mode. So I find it funny when you tell folks to refrain from eating, they start talking about passing out. Listen, most of the time I hear about somebody passing out, having a stroke, and dying and things like that. They wasn't in a fasting state. They wasn't on their 10th day of not eating. You know what I mean? Like they wasn't in that. You know, they wasn't fasting. They wasn't doing a controlled fast, and then they had a stroke and died. Most of these people that I know that's having strokes and they doing that type of stuff, having heart attacks, man, they just ate 2 hours ago and they ate some trash. Like, come on, man. Y'all afraid to go a few days without solid foods? When you done went 30, 35 plus years on all solid food? Come on. It's not going to kill you, fam. It is not. I promise you. Like, I promise you, it's not going to kill you. I promise you. I promise you for sure. Jabril, peace. What's happening? MT, peace. What's happening? Chris, there we go. Hey, Terrell, peace. What's happening? And you get the fiber from the fruit. Look, hey, the healthiest fruit for you got tons of fiber. You know what I'm saying? Tons of fiber. Tons of fiber. If you eating fruits and vegetables, there is no way you're gonna be deficient in fiber. If you eating tons of fruits and vegetables, you getting more than enough fiber. You know what I mean? More than enough. Like I consume a ton of fruits and vegetables, and I can tell you, fiber ain't a problem. You know, oats contain a good amount of it, but even if you bypass the oats and just go fruits in the morning, that's still fiber. You know, that's still about to detox and cleanse. That's still gonna wipe you out. That's still gonna wipe you out, especially them berries, fam. Especially those berries. And then really the first thing in the morning that you want to do is have some warm water, room temperature water, things like that. You know, because you didn't slept, and they say that's the more popular time for people to have heart attacks in the morning because we in a dehydrated state for the most part. So the first thing you really want to do when you wake up is sip on some warm water. That's really what's going to first loosen the bowels. You know, so you want to get up and sip on some warm water. They say more than likely, like most heart attacks occur in the morning because we dehydrated, you know. So again, first things first, get you some hydration. Get you some hydration for sure. MT, I'm trying to tell 1 meal a day. That's one solid meal a day. I've been doing that for a very long time. And I actually did that inadvertently. Like I just started doing it. Didn't even realize it. And then I became more mindful of it and started adding smoothies to the mix. Colleen, you say, how do you feel about women working out with a waist trainer? Yeah, I don't too much care for it. Now, if you use the waist trainer like we use weightlifting belts when we lifting heavy and stuff to help with posture, that's cool. But to wear the waist trainer and all that to try to get your ass to a certain point, nope, it ain't even really necessary. I don't really too much like it. And most of the women be ending up suffocating themselves with the way that they be having those waist trainers on. You know, so I really can't stand waist trainers, man. It was a money grab. You know, they got women with that creation, the waist trainer. I'm not a big advocate of waist trainers. Like I said, if you use it for your posture, you know what I'm saying, that just help with that. Like we would use a weightlifting belt when we lifting heavy, cool. But man, when you doing your whole workout and you got this tight waist trainer on, you actually could be weakening your muscles. And like that's why I don't recommend a lot of people use stuff like that because it actually could weaken the muscle. It makes your muscles dependent upon that particular device, that belt, that waist trainer. You know, you don't even want that to happen. That could weaken the muscle. It could weaken your core muscles. Like you want to do these workouts without all of that. The only time that you want to put a weight belt on is when the weight is like 80, 85% of your max. Because again, your muscles become dependent upon that belt, you know what I'm saying, to get this weight up. So it's weakening those muscles, man. So you want to do everything as raw as possible, you know, as raw as possible with nothing. Even work now, I know ladies ain't gonna do this, but even working out with gloves. Like I don't work out with gloves. Y'all done seen my videos. I don't use gloves when I work out. For one, they never allowed us to do it when I played college ball. Never allowed us to do it. It's a grip thing, you know, so it helps with your grip. You know what I mean? Like again, you wear the gloves like that messes with the grip. You know, but when you take those gloves off, it strengthens your grip, you know. So my grip is a lot stronger because I don't use gloves when I work out. Now, again, I don't expect my ladies to fool with that because y'all ain't trying to get calluses and things like that, you know, but I don't work out with gloves for that reason. Like that's raw strength because of I got to grip the bar. Like the gloves are not assisting me, you know, so that's real natural raw strength when I lift without gloves. But I don't fool with any of that for real. As far as like the waist trainers and all that, like I said, the only thing I say is like a weightlifting belt for when the weight gets slightly heavy there. You know, that's the only thing I recommend. And maybe like some knee sleeves, you know, when you're squatting heavy and things like that, or if you got some knee issues. But I don't fool with them waist trainers. That's a money grab. You put in the work, your abs gonna come. You know what I'm saying? You put in the work, your ass gonna come. And this the funny thing about it. The funny thing about it in regards to my personal regimen, like I don't really do a lot of ab work, or I never really did a lot of ab work to define my abs. It's more so just eating clean and lifting weights. Like that's literally the formula. I didn't have people ask me about my ab routine. Like I just really started incorporating ab workouts into my situation. Normally I just lift weights and eat right, and that forms your abs, you know. But I just started adding ab specific exercises to my personal regimen. Hey, MT, there you go. Tony, for sure. Diet is about 80 to 90% of the situation for abs. Now, if you want your abs to form a certain type of way, them ab exercises can be very beneficial, which is why I started to reincorporate them. You know, if you don't like your lower abs, you just want them to be more defined, you know, do them leg lifts. You know, that's tapping into the lower abs. You know what I mean? Do some reverse crunches, things like that. If you want that waist to shrink a little bit more, do those side bends that y'all have seen me doing. Get you a little broomstick, put it on your back, do some side bends, and do a gang of those a day. That's gonna slim the waist down. Hey, Big Black, hold on. Hey, we gonna change that up, man. Don't eat now. Don't eat just to go to sleep faster. We ain't give we gonna have to reprogram your mind, Big Black. Oh, Jabril, man, for sure. Listen, I keep chia seeds, flax seeds, and hemp seeds at the crib at all times. Psyllium husk is also good as well. Man, I keep the wheat germ. Man, it's so many. Man, listen, I can start naming a bunch of different things like wheat germ. Get you some of that too. Get y'all some wheat germ. That's it. That's important. Then you got wheat berries. That's also something good to go get. Get y'all the wheat germ, the wheat berries, all of that. You can look, hey, you can look all this stuff up. You know, you should be able to order some of this stuff online. Your local grocery stores to have some of these things. But all of this stuff is beneficial, man. Wheat berries, wheat germ. Get y'all some of that. Colleen, peace. What's happening? Hey, Colleen, appreciate that PayPal the other day or yesterday, whatever day that was. And you say you heard Tony Braxton almost died from a heart attack. Hold up. Oh yeah. I think I had heard about that. Cause I think she got lupus, don't she? Yeah, I think she got lupus. Terenzo, yeah, I squat, man. I ain't did it in a minute, but I used to squat barefooted, with socks on and deadlift like that. But it's definitely good for the core, you know. Alkaline for sure. Hey, for sure. Man, Jabril, I don't even, man, cooking ain't even my thing. I do most of my stuff raw, and I just experimented. And I experimented and I listened to my body in regards to the combinations that I use for like smoothies and things like that. If my body responds well to it, I keep it in rotation. If my body doesn't respond well to it, discard it. Just fresh. Hey, that's my man's. Like I say, that's about 80-90% of the situation. About 80 to 90%. Yeah, big black. I've never used gloves, man. My head, I got all type of calluses. And I didn't lift some rough bars. Big black, appreciate that super sticker for sure. Yeah, Kalina, hey, that wheat germ's on point. On point. Rod Mukes, you say, I peeped the books on the back shelf. What are your favorite self-help books? My favorite self-help book of all time, I must say, and I'm glad you asked that because I got to get back on what that book was actually teaching. I ain't gonna say preaching because I don't got time for that. But the miracle morning. That's one of man. Miracle Morning is one of my favorite self-help books. That was the book that got me to start getting up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, setting the tone. Like you master the morning, you master your day. And it was like that was common sense, but man, when I read it, I was like, dang, this explains a lot. The worst thing, man, is when you get straight up in the morning and you got to get straight to work and things like that, and you didn't have any time for yourself to just get your mind right. When I was reading that book, they was like, man, hey, when you master the morning, that sets the tone for the rest of your day. So if you have a peaceful morning, you're gonna have a peaceful day. So I was like, man, let me start getting up in the morning and master this morning. Man, I was getting up at like 5 o'clock, didn't really have to get up until like 7:30. So I'm having 2-3 hours to be able to do my own little thing before I had to go to work. And every day that I did that, man, I felt better, felt way more productive. I got things done. It's 8 o'clock and I done already did the most important things of my day. So now when I'm at work, the BS wasn't bothering me. But when I wasn't able to get up at that time, man, I felt unproductive. So I couldn't stand that, man. So, man, I'm trying to tell you, Mastering Your Morning, The Miracle Morning, that's a great self-help book. And Atomic Habits, that's another good one. Yeah, and that book helped me understand why we do what we do, and how to change habits. So Miracle Morning, Atomic Habits, those are like my top two. Think and Grow Rich, I have to throw that in the mix too. As number 3, The Millionaire Next Door, that's like kind of like a financial self-help joint, but that's another one. I feel like I'm about to forget one, but those are like the top 4, I should say. Yeah, those are probably like my top 4. But The Miracle Morning, man, that's my joint. That's my joint 100%. That book got me like that's why I started writing books at that moment because I started getting up in the morning instead of making excuses and saying I ain't got enough time. I ain't got enough time to do this. I said, you know what? I do got enough time. I just gotta I gotta get up earlier in the morning to do it. That was the answer to my problems, getting up earlier in the morning. So a lot of times we have time, we just don't want to make that time. We don't want to get up earlier in the morning. We don't want to do that. That's too early, man. Nah, you could do it. You could do it. So that's one of my favorite joints. That book was a game changer for sure. Hey, Terrell, my powder, my labels are on their way right now. So whenever these labels get here, I had to make the labels for them. So whenever the labels get here in the mail, then I should have them like a day or two after the labels get here. But yeah, I'm working on the powder right now. Yeah, whenever them labels get here. But the label they shipped out my labels maybe 2 or 3 days ago. But yeah, for sure, I'm gonna have them powders available whenever that happens. Whenever they get here. Lindia R, you say what's with these YouTubers mentioning Danica and Six name in a negative light? Man, I can't even tell you. Shoot, you have to ask them YouTubers. I can't even tell you because I don't even be tapped into folks mentioning folks in a negative light like that unless it's brought to my attention. And I still don't even be knowing why because I don't be tapped in. So I don't know. I can't give you no thorough assessment other than folks is hating. That's it. That's all I can give you because I ain't really tapped in to hear what they even saying. So I can't even give you no thorough answer on that other than folks might just be hating out here. I don't know. If they have legitimate concerns, I don't know. Some of them might have some legitimate concerns. They might have some legitimate things, legitimate problems with some of the stuff that they saying. I don't know. I know it's plenty of people that got legitimate problems with some things I say. Hey, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Just know I'm not going to participate in going back and forth. I ain't going to feed into it. But man, if you disagree with somebody said, or you don't like what somebody said, and you come with some facts and evidence to corroborate your claim, cool. But I ain't participating in it. I'm gonna keep standing on my square and whatnot, and be a living example of what I represent. But I don't know why they coming at them in a negative light, other than on some hate type of time, and trying to feed into this whole social media nonsense, man. We gonna have to get into the dynamics of social media for me to really start to explain why they mentioning folks in a negative light. They do things like that for clickbait, views, and all that type of good stuff. So that's another reason why that might be happening. TR, peace, what's happening? Shayna, peace, what's happening? Yeah, we ain't seen you in a minute on the live. Right on. But hey, that's the world that we live in. You know what I'm saying? That's the world that we live in for sure, man. Like that. Unfortunately, controversy sells. Controversy and sex, all that type of stuff, it sells, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? Like little stuff like that, it sells. We like controversy. We like that. So people it's like people wake up and think of the most controversial thing to say. And it's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna lead with that. I'm trying to get my views up. So a lot of times they be on that type of vibe, man. They trying to drama and all this. Nobody got time for that. We didn't took reality TV and tried to turn it over to the YouTube streets. Reality TV, you know what I'm saying? Like we live in the same type of way, virtually now. You know how when they took real world and put all these random people in this house, like now we doing that virtually. You know what I'm saying? Bunch of random people that don't really know each other coming at each other. Man, I ain't got time for that, man. We trying to build, we trying to educate, we trying to uplift. That's what type of vibe I'm on. That's what type of time and that's what type of vibe I'm on for real. And you say they saying why she married but got no kids is crazy. Like what? And then the messed up part is if I wanted to get petty, I could. I could say simple things like if somebody were to hit us with that, like y'all married ain't got no kid. and then I turn around and look at the food that you are feeding your kid, and then I can say, well, why are you killing your kid? Then I'll be wrong. You know, you went out and fed your child McDonald's, and I'm like, well, why are you killing your kid? Why are you doing that? You killing that kid. I would be wrong. But Muzz can be on the outside looking in and judge my situation. You know what I'm saying? But then when I start saying stuff that I'd say, then I'm gonna be wrong. I'm gonna be considered the bad guy because I will go in on folks. That's why I don't do it. I will go in. You know, and I don't want to do that. You know, so that's why I don't involve myself in a lot of that. Because I'm an analytical person. So once you start trying to break down my life, I'm about to thoroughly examine. I'm gonna do a background check. So you better be doing everything on point. You know what I'm saying? You better be doing everything on point if you criticize me. Because again, I ain't never been on here acting like I was ever perfect. So it's always funny when that happens though. But it is what it is, man. I'm in the business of helping folk. You know, so I keep it at that. It'll take a lot for me to kind of break the character and start going off and going in on folks. Somebody will have to, like, nah, it'll just take a lot. You know, and that's just it. So I like that stuff don't even be phasing me, man. Like it really doesn't. Like a lot of people think it might phase me. I'm trying to tell you it don't. I promise y'all it don't. I promise y'all, I don't care what type of life other folks are living. I don't care what folks then said about me, man. I'm trying to tell you. I just don't care. And a lot of people be trying to call my bluff on that. They want to they try to think I'm caring, like I don't. Like I seriously don't. All big black for sure. You know, and I sat down like this is listen, I sat down. One of my degrees is well, two of my degrees, business management and marketing. Those are my actual degrees. So like you create business plans, fam. You know what I'm saying? So when you create a business plan, you have a mission statement. You know what I mean? Like what is my purpose for doing what I'm doing? You know, when you going into business, you got to create these things. Man, why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I going into this business? What is my purpose? What do I want people to take away from this business? So I'm going into the YouTube streets like that. So I created a purpose. Fam, like I want people to tap into my channel and this is what I want them to walk away with. If you trying to interfere with that, you will get ignored, fam. Like if it doesn't contribute to that, whatever I wrote down in regards to elevating the minds and the bodies of my people, which is what my mission statement is, which is what my purpose is, if it ain't contributing to that, then it don't exist to me. It don't exist to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm striving to elevate the minds and the bodies of my folk, folk that look like me. Like that's my folk. You know, if other folk that don't look like me benefit from some of this, cool, but that's not my target. I'm targeting folk who look like me, you know, who trying to elevate mentally and physically. If it ain't about that, it ain't about anything to me. Seriously, if it ain't about that, we ain't talking about how to eat right, how to think right, then what we talking about? You know what I'm saying? What we talking about? I'm not understanding the conversation. Antonio, my brother, what's happening? Hey, Kurt, you say what benefits you get from the chlorophyll? Man, chlorophyll is that's good for cleansing the blood. It's a natural deodorizer. It helps cleanse out the system. You know, those are the main benefits from it. You know, natural deodorizer, good for the blood, and again, it just detoxes and cleanses out the system internally, your digestive system and things like that. Your gut health, it helps with all of that. You know, and then it'll bring clarity of the mind. You know, so those are some benefits that come with the chlorophyll. Malik, peace. What's happening? Oh, Terenzo, man. Hey, man, listen. I'm trying to tell you, like, I'm. It ain't no telling how I be. some years from now because I'm bad now. I'm trying to say, man, I got family members right now that left on red because they came at me with some nonsense. I got family members right now. They left on red. Like I'm not responding. I got family members right now left on red. And they know I probably shouldn't have said that. Probably shouldn't have came at him with that. I got family members right now. I don't have no problem leaving you on red or seen or whatever the case, or not even opening the message. Because I feel like it's on some. If I feel like you on some nonsense, I'm not even gonna open the message. I ain't even gonna open the message if I feel like you on some nonsense. Like man, such and such. I feel like they on some nonsense. 99% of the time, I'll be right. 9 times out of 10, I'll be right. I feel like you on that nonsense. Nine times out of 10, the person be on the nonsense. And I'm like, I knew it. I might open your message a month later. Be like, man, you ain't want nothing. MT, you say, what do you suggest to help women tighten the upper arms? Mine are not fat but soft. I need to tone. Hey, get you a resistance band. Do calisthenics. So do push-ups, all different variations of a push-up. You know, the regular grip, wide grip, close grip, all of those tapping into the arms. But get you that resistance band, do you some curls, get you a small dumbbell, do you some like kickbacks. You know, you kind of bent down an angle and you kicking the dumbbell out like that. That tightens the arm up. You know, it's a lot of different things. You can do overhead extensions with a dumbbell, like a small dumbbell or so. That also taps into that. You know, if you're at the gym doing a tricep pull downs, that also tightens the arms up. Any form of curling can also tighten the arms up. But all of what I just mentioned. But definitely get you a resistance band though. Those are great for the arms. You can do the curls and you can do those kickbacks that I'm talking about, and you just do a lot of reps of those, and that'll end up tightening that arm up. And then do some push-ups along with that. And of course, you work your way up to doing a regular push-up. You know, so you can start off doing the push-ups while you're on the knee, but then you eventually want to progress to a regular push-up, ladies included. You know what I'm saying? Ladies, do y'all some regular push-ups. Do some regular push-ups. Oh, Jabril, man, I'm trying to tell you, I'm gonna be race first till I die in this month. And even then, I'm still race first. So it ain't even race first until I die, because even then I'm still race first. You know what I'm saying? Even then. Hey, Tony, appreciate the cash out for sure. Malik, you say, do you think the pescatarian is good? If so, what do you suggest? Based on my research, pescatarianism is like right underneath just veganism or going fully plant-based as far as like a day-to-day diet or regimen. So going pescatarian, if you need to consume some form of meat or animal protein, then pescatarianism is the way to go. Now you still got to be mindful of the quality of fish, because we know they have polluted the waters out here. You know, so you got to get the wild caught salmon, you know, the cod, that's pretty good, you know, so you got to be mindful of the fish because they done polluted the water and whatnot. But you know, that's the best way to go if you need to consume some animal protein. If you feel you need to consume some animal protein because you really don't. But if you want to, then I suggest going pescatarian. That's what I suggest. Uh, what we got? We got some questions. Lenny, you say, do you think they're attacking your masculinity? Man, can't nobody attack my masculinity because I don't allow it. So can't nobody words attack my masculinity. The only time somebody can attack my masculinity is if I allow them to attack me. So no. Like that's simple. That was quite simple to answer that. Yeah, chaos for sure. And like I said, I really stopped tapping in the fish like that because I don't eat it. Even when I consume that, I ain't eat it in high amounts anyway. You know, sometimes it wouldn't sit well with me. But yeah, always want to eat the animal protein, no matter which form, in moderation. But with the fish, you got to watch out for the mercury. You know, you got to watch out. You got to watch out for that. But everything with that in moderation for sure. You know, in moderation for sure, man. Like I said, man, give me some time. Like the event, you know, if you was on my wife's channel, the event she talking about, I'm gonna really break down some things in regards to veganism and going plant-based with that. Because a lot of people be wanting to travel down that path. They literally just don't know how to do it, how to get all the nutrients and vitamins and things like that going vegan. And it's actually quite simple these days. Tony, hey, stay away from creatine. Please stay away from that. I never forget when it comes to creatine, I had to put my high school football, one of my high school football coaches, because this was back then when we was trying to get swole. Somebody brought up creatine and that dude stopped. It's almost like he seen a ghost. And he was like, man, stay away from that. He was like, man, that stuff messed him up, tore up his kidneys and all of that. You know, and then when I got old enough to research it, it ain't nothing good about that. Stay away from that joint. That'll end up damaging your kidneys for sure. You know, and then you will end up all puffy and whatnot. Like, nah, I ain't got time for that. You know, nah. So I don't recommend creatine at all. Shana, what you say? Do you recommend cardio or weightlifting to lose weight? Both, but weightlifting is better. So, all right, put it this way. Cardio should be the side, like it should be the side dish. Weightlifting is the main entree. Or that's how we gonna do it. It's the side. You know what I'm saying? The main thing should be weightlifting. Your side should be cardio. Then you're gonna lose the weight quick, fast. Strength training is the best way to burn fat. Which at the end of the day, when we say lose weight, that's really what we want to do. You want to burn fat. So the best way to do that, strength training, you know, with a side of cardio. You know, so strength train, I say maybe 4 days out the week. Do you some cardio 2 days out the week. And then even that cardio should be like sprints and hills and things like that. Now, before you start or begin your weightlifting session, you can do like some light aerobic activity to warm your body up. That's always cool. But as far as like just having days where you focus on cardio, it should be about 2 days, and you do some strength training or weightlifting about 4 days. That formula right there, you will hit any goal that you want to hit. Any goals you want to hit. But when it comes to cardio, we got to stop just walking all the time. If you've been walking for a year, like at some point, you got to turn that joint up to a jog. And then at some point, you got to turn that joint up to a sprint. You know, so we get too comfortable. A lot of people be like, I'll be doing cardio, and they just walk all the time. And then their body hits that wall, a plateau. It's like that's because your body is used to walking. I got people that know me or that I know, and I tell them, man, you need to get out here and work out. They be like, well, I walk a lot at my job. That is not the same thing. Your body is used to doing what it does at this job on a day-to-day basis. So that's not really conducive. That's not really productive. You got to do something different. You got to place more stress on the body, and that will force the body to adapt and adjust by creating bigger muscle, more muscle, and it will burn fat in the process of doing that. You know, so again, we get comfortable with cardio for the most part. We just do this walking and be like, I walk 8 miles. I know y'all done seen plenty of people be like, I walk 8 miles a day, and they don't look like much of nothing. Because again, their body hit this wall. You got to start jogging, sprinting, running, you know. But cardio should be the side dish, man. The main entree should always be weightlifting. Weightlifting just has a ton of more benefits. You know, so if you press for time and got to choose between the two, lift weights. You get more bang for your buck. Sylvester Peace, what's happening? You gonna get more bang for your buck lifting them weights. Resistance training, you know, that's what we gonna call that. Because now resistance training is weights, it's calisthenics, anything that adds resistance, fam. So that's using your own body weight as that resistance. So I'm gonna just call it resistance training. But yeah, weightlifting is the best thing you could do. Contrary to popular belief, they cardio be having it, but I can go put up body types out here, and I can show you the person that does nothing but cardio versus the person that lifts weights and they sprint, and I promise you, you gonna like the weightlifter / sprinter body way more than you like the person that just do cardio. I just cry every time. Now, Shayna, you say, should I do cardio before or after weightlifting or have specific days? Now, you can do the specific days, like I had said. Like I said, the weightlifting 4 days and then 2 days dedicated to strictly cardio, or I would say do cardio after your session, especially if you're striving to burn fat. Because again, that's a good way to burn out. So you done did this, you done had this intense weightlifting session, and to really tap into the fat burning zone, do you some 20-30 minutes of some hardcore hit cardio after that. That'll really tap you into that fat burning zone. But again, you always want to do light aerobic activity to warm up before you lift weights. But don't confuse that with like actual cardio. That's just something to get the blood flowing, to get the body temperature up, just warm the body up. That ain't really your cardio. But yeah, if you really want to tap in, I suggest striving to lift weight. I promise you, you're gonna be depleted. You're gonna feel like you ain't got an ounce of energy left when you go hard with the weights and then you do a burnout of some hit cardio at the end. From it, you will be done. Like you will be done. You're 100% done. But again, the light aerobic activity that you do before, that's warming up. That's a warm up. So you can hit a treadmill, jump some rope, do the row machine before you work out, but you only doing that for 5 to 10 minutes, and that's not supposed to tire you out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not supposed to tire you out. When you doing your actual cardio session, that's going to tire you out, Oh yeah, tell me, man, creatine, man. I'm trying to tell you, they be getting folks with all that nonsense, man. I'm like, man, listen, stay away from most of that. That creatine, it definitely ain't no reason for no sister to be on no creatine. It ain't no reason for no dude to be on it either. But my goodness, I'd have had some women start asking me about it. I'm like, man, what's going on? I'm like, man, why so many ladies asking me about creatine? What is happening? This wasn't a thing before. This wasn't a thing back in the day. Man, MC, I'm trying to tell you, and it's crazy how that works. You're gonna see that number on the scale. It ain't doing much of nothing, but your body is transforming. You like, man, what is going on? And that's why a lot of times I don't even tell people to focus on the scale. Focus on how you feel, focus on how you look. Focus on how you feel, focus on how you look, focus on how them clothes fitting, things like that. Them weights take your body to another level. When you start hitting them weights, and then when you really start zeroing in on the body part, man, that weights do wonders. Oh yeah, Antonio, man, I'm trying to tell you, all that walking, it's like I get it to start off, cool. Whatever you got to do to start moving, but man, at some point, you got to turn it up a notch. At some point, you got to challenge yourself. We got to stop being afraid to challenge ourselves. Like at some point, you got to be like, all right, this is too easy. Like at some point, you got to be like, all right, I done been walking for a year. I ain't been bust out a jog yet. Let me start jogging. Like you got to get out that comfort zone. That's why I like lifting heavy weights. Nothing is comfortable about squatting 300 pounds ever. Nothing is comfortable about picking up 400 pounds. I don't care how much I want to do it. Nothing is comfortable about putting 350 pounds on your back and squatting as low as you can, coming back up. Nothing is comfortable about that. I don't care how amp I am and how much I want to do that. 350 pounds is 350 pounds. When you put it on your back and you got to squat with it, Man, that's uncomfortable. That is uncomfortable, fam. So that's why I like strength training, because it always forces me out of my comfort zone. I ain't never comfortable lifting heavy weights. Never. Like, I'm never comfortable, man. Like the strength training, I'm never comfortable putting 300 pounds on my back, or picking 400 pounds up off the ground, or bench pressing 200, 300 pounds. Not 200, that ain't nothing, but 300 pounds. Shayna, yes. So I'm gonna put that on the screen so I can explain that. But yes, when you strength train, that's the benefit. That's the reason why strength training is better than cardio. So cardio is steady state, meaning, all right, when you on a treadmill and say you doing 30 minutes on this treadmill, and say, all right, after 30 minutes on this treadmill, say you burn 500 calories. The moment you step off of that treadmill, you done burning calories. You done. You burnt your 500. Now you're done. Strength training. Let's say you got an Apple Watch. Let's say you done did a 45-minute to an hour session of strength training, and they say you burn 500, 600 calories. Well, the benefit of strength training, or the pro to strength training, is your body is not done. It's not done. Your body gonna burn calories all throughout the day and night after that strength training session, because again, you didn't damage the muscle. So now the body has to work to repair the damage that you caused via lifting them weights. And how does it do that? It builds stronger muscle, stronger bones. That burns calories. That burns fat. So that's definitely a real thing. You burn calories while you're sleeping. You burning fat while you're sleeping when you do that strength training. Kurt, you say, hold up. You say, what are good calisthenics or dumbbell exercises for your rear delts? The best thing for that are the reverse flies with the dumbbells, man. So when you're down like so, and you hold the dumbbells and you kind of fly like that, like you're trying to fly, the reverse flies, that's the best thing for the rear delts. And you could do like a pike push up that also taps into like your shoulders and what your delts and whatnot. But the reverse flies with the dumbbells, man, those are the best things. And if you got one of those those fly machines at a gym where you sit down like so and you do like that, you grab the handles and you bring it in like that. If you got a machine like that, if you do it the reverse way, that's also good for the rear delts. If you have a gym that has that type of machine in it, you do it in reverse instead of doing it like this. Boom, you turn around and face that way. You come out with it. That's working the rear delts too. But the reverse fly with the dumbbells, the best exercise for the rear delts, hands down. Darlene, peace. What's happening? But yeah, man, we didn't start. Hold on, we didn't start tapping into y'all. Got me. Y'all got me in trainer mode. Hold up. Y'all didn't this. We didn't turn into this and turn into a gym session. Hold on. Donnie, you say, what are the best exercises to lose belly fat? So again, now that's a good question, because like we was talking about earlier, belly fat, for the most part, that's made in the kitchen. But two ways to go about programming your exercises for the abs. Two ways to go about it. If your main concern is to just slim the waist down, you want to do weightless ab exercises. So if you just want to slim the waist down, flatten the stomach, just slim the waist, you want to do weightless ab exercises. Y'all done seen me do the side bends. You can get a broom. I got like a little stick that I got from Road Fitness, but you can get a broomstick, put on your back, bend to the side like that. Boom. That helps like with the obliques, and it helps slim the waist down. You can do crunches. You can do leg lifts, reverse crunches, flutter kicks, scissor kicks, plank, side planks, all these type of things, weightless, and that will help slim the waist down. And you want to do a lot of reps, high reps with no weight. Now, if you want to form muscles, like if you want that six pack that looks a little muscular and you want to add mass and thickness to your abs, then you want to do weighted ab exercises. Meaning, all right, I'm going to do sit-ups, but I'm going to have a weight. I'm going to do leg lifts, but I'm going to have a weight. That's what adds the thickness and the mass to the abs, if that's what you're looking for. If you just want to slim them joints down, then you want to do a bunch of reps of weightless ab exercises. Again, like I say, crunches, leg lifts, reverse crunches, exercise called skyscrapers when you lay flat on your back, bring your legs straight up, keep your legs in the air, and reach kind of not towards your toes, but just kind of like up. You reach up. You know, you can look that exercise up on the internet. Flutter kicks, scissor kicks. I'm probably gonna miss a few. Planks, side planks, mountain climbers, all these exercises. Sit-ups can get a little suspect if you have lower back issues. Seated twist, the Russian twist, those are good. Like all these exercises are great. You know, without weight, if you're just trying to slim the waist down, you want to do a bunch of reps though. You know, like on some of my off days, see people talk about like cardio. What I do, I like power lift 3 days out the week, and then on 2 or 3 days, the other 2 or 3 days, I do like a bunch of reps of body weight exercises, what they call calisthenics, a bunch of push-ups, a bunch of, so I do sit-ups, bunch of leg lifts, bunch of knee tucks, jump rope, things like that. And I go up 20 each week. So if I started off with 100 push-ups, then the next week I'm doing 120. Then the next week I'm doing 140. Then the next week I'm doing 160. Like this is how I do the body weight exercises. I'm constantly increasing the reps each week. That you always want to change up the variable to make it more intense. That's how you really hit them results. You can't, if you did 100 push-ups or you did 100 sit-ups and crunches last week, and you do 100 again this week, and do 100 again the week after that, like your body gonna eventually adapt to that. So you got to keep changing it up, challenge the body. All right, I did 100 this week. I did 105 next week. I did 110 the next week. That's adding more intensity to the exercise or the workout each week. That's how y'all do it. That's very important to your programming. Very important. Make sure you are increasing something each week, and then every 4th or 5th week or so, scale it back, and have what they call a deload week. It's important. And then pick right back up where you left off. Like this is how you do that. Programming is very important. People do not understand the importance of proper programming when it comes to working out and exercising. You need to go into the gym, or if you're working out from home, you need to have a plan. Have your workouts written out for the week. Stop waking up and be like, I'm finna exercise and don't have any idea of what you're doing. Have this stuff already written out. You got to treat that like meal prepping. Like you create your meals for the week on Sunday, you need to create your workout for the week on Sunday. Your workouts. All right, I'm working out. I'm lifting weights Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Here's what I'm doing. Here are the exercises I'm doing. Here are the reps I'm doing. Here are the sets I'm doing. This is the amount of weight I'm lifting. That is important. That is very important. Proper programming is a very underrated aspect to reaching your fitness goals. Have a plan. Tony, right now, my workouts look like this. So Monday is what they call pull day. So I'm deadlifting, like I'm lifting heavy. So it's a power lifting. It's called power building. It's a power building routine, which is a mixture of power lifting, bodybuilding. Real simple. I only do 3 exercises on my lift days, but it's like fairly heavy. So I do the main lift will be deadlift on back day. So I might do 2 sets of 4. And I got my max. So I got my 1 rep max. So I go up a percentage each week based on that max. And then at the end of this 16, 17 week program, I'm going to retest my max to see if the strength went up. So far as it went up every time I've done this. You know, so let's say the first week after I got my max, I'm going to do 2 sets of 4 on the deadlift at 67.5% of my max. Boom, 2 sets of 4 of that. Then I do the bent over rows, which is one of the best exercises you can do. Period. I do 5 sets of 10 on the bent over row. And you got to choose a weight that's moderate, you know, and then each week I go up 5 pounds on the bent over row. And then when I hit week 4, which is my deload week, I keep the same weight that I use in week 3. So from week 3 to week 4, I'm doing bent over rows with the same weight, and then week 5 I finally increase it. You know, so again, and then on that, after that, I do curls, 3 sets of 12 on the curls. That's my pull day. Real simple. I ain't gotta do nothing crazy, but the weight be heavy, you know. And then on Wednesday, that'll be what they call push day. That's when I bench press. Again, 2 sets of 4 on the bench press, 67.5% of the max. That'll be week 1. Then I do 5 sets of 10 of the military press, one of the best exercises you can do. You could do a push press, meaning you add the squat to the military press. So you squat down, then bring the weight overhead. That'll help you push more weight on that lift. So I do 5 sets of 10 of the military press. And then I do skull crushers, which are great for the triceps. Get you one of them easy curl bars, which people call a squiggly bar, and you lay on that bench. Y'all have seen me do it, and you bend at the elbow, bring it down to about close to the forehead, and bring it back up. That work all of that. 3 sets of 12 of that. And then on Friday, that's leg day, which was today. So I did my squat, 2 sets of 4. I did 5 sets of 10 on the box squat. I did 3 sets of 12 on the good mornings. All my ladies, if y'all trying to grow the glutes and you know have powerful glutes and hamstrings, good mornings are a great exercise to do. You know, and so I do this program for about 16 weeks. And then at the end, I retest my maxes for the bench, deadlift, and the squat. And then I do the same program, but I change up the exercises, the accessory exercises, meaning I'm keeping the bench, the deadlift, and squat in the mix, but the other exercise, like the bent over row, I might change that. Might do pull-ups. You know, the curls, I might do another variation of the curl. The military press, I might change that up, do a single arm dumbbell shoulder press, something like that. Skull crusher, I might drop that and do the pull downs with the rope for the triceps. And the box squat, I might change it up, do front squats, do hip thrusts, whatever I feel like doing. So I just change up the exercises. So that's something that you need to do too. Always change up your exercises after a period of time. You don't want to keep doing the same exercises, fam. Unless you literally training to get stronger in an exercise. Like I'm training to get stronger on my bench press, deadlift, and squat. So I keep those in the mix. But the other exercises, man, you gotta change them up. If you've been doing a routine and been doing the same exercises and machines this whole time, like you gotta change that up. Like every few months or so, change up the machines you use and change up the exercises that you're doing. You work the same body part, just different exercise. Like for real. You know, and then on my in-between days, that's when I do a bunch of calisthenics. So like, let's say on Tuesday, I start off in this beginning of this program, I might start off with like 150 push-ups, 150 sit-ups, 500 jump ropes. And then I might do like 200 of the side bends. That's something light, but it's cool because again, like I ain't even really supposed to be working on that day. That's just something I'm adding in. Then let's just say Thursday, in between my Wednesday and Friday lifting session, I might do a gang of pull-ups, like 60 pull-ups, 150 close grip push-ups to work on the triceps further. I might do 150 leg lifts for the lower abs. What else would I might do? I might do some burpees, something like that. So I'll be doing, then on Saturday, just for extra credit, I might do another like body weight circuit, like some prisoner squats, some calf raises, just anything I can think of. Tyson push-ups. Look up Tyson push-ups. Man, those are some very effective push-ups. You know, so I might do some stuff like that. But I do all ab work and calisthenic work on the days in between my weightlifting days. You know, for sure. Hey, Big Black, for sure, man. One thing we gonna do is promote health and wellness and things like that. If I don't do anything else, I'm gonna promote that. Yeah, if I don't promote anything else, I'm gonna promote that. We gonna get folks right and exact. We don't do nothing else. If I don't do nothing else, I'm gonna post my workouts and I'm gonna talk about fast and I'm gonna talk about eating right. If I don't do nothing else, y'all gonna see my workouts, which I've been trying to do. I've been trying to be better. With posting my workouts, man. I just been trying to show y'all how consistent I am. I'm not just one of the ones that's training folks and they ain't doing what I need to do. You know, so I've been real adamant about posting my workouts so y'all can see my progress as well. you know, so y'all can see my strength increasing, so y'all can see my body change and all that good stuff. You know, so I've been trying to be more mindful of posting my actual workouts. Some days I forget to post them, but whatever. I make sure I try to post at least all the days that I lift. Like the days I do the other stuff, and I might post those, I might not. But I'm going to most definitely post the days where I'm lifting. Most definitely. So that y'all can see form and all that type of good stuff, man. Pay attention to how I do some of those exercises for form purposes. Because you do not want to be squatting and deadlifting incorrectly. You don't want to be doing these things incorrectly, man. That can lead to severe injury, you know. So just pay attention to the form when you see me doing some of these exercises. Because you want to make sure you're doing them right. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, I done got everything I need to get off my chest. Speaking of the gym, I got to head back to the gym. You know what I'm saying? I got to get ready to head back to the gym to finish off my clients for the evening. So, man, it's been a peaceful build, peaceful stream. As always, I rock with y'all 1,000%. But I'm going to let y'all get back to enjoying y'all Friday. I probably won't tap in this weekend. I'm going to let y'all get a break. Y'all take care of yourselves physically and mentally this weekend, man. I'm going to tap back in with y'all next week on Monday for sure. So y'all be easy out here, man. I'm out. Peace.